Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Elizabeth and today we are experimenting with different kinds of paper to find the alternative for the YUPO with working with alcohol inks. So I have new alcohol ink color and also previous three that I have already tried, but I haven't tried it on a proper surface. So today I will work with different papers, different surfaces to find the better and cheap alternative for the YUPO. Yeah, so we will work with the paper coated with white acrylic paint because acrylic is sort of plasticky. Also paper coated with some glossy accent, also glossy photo paper and some packaging material like this. You can find it like on AliExpress, on Amazon, or maybe some stores, and it is labeled as 7, so a mix of something. And I will also use the metal piece just to color it. Yeah, and I will protect my surface. I will use this blowing thingy, also a dauber and hand sanitizer to help the inks spread a little bit. Previous my experiments I didn't have any of those, I only had the alcohol, but today we are more prepared. And I decided to start from the acrylic paint sample, let's call it sample, and it's not really a success. I should have used hand sanitizer here, but it's me trying out, me experimenting with different stuff because, well, I haven't yet tried it out. And I will use this new sort of a rusty color ink. It's a little bit too orange for my liking. I wanted it to be a little bit more like a brownish sort of rust, but it's okay. I have now a new color to my collection, and as you can see, it moved a little bit and then was stuck already, so it's not like a really non-porous surface, a little bit porous, and yeah, the inks moves to these pores, and then you cannot really move it without the help of like alcohol and such. So as you can see, if I add a little bit of alcohol, it moves just a little bit further, but not too much. But we can clearly see the difference, well, not here, but later on we will see the difference between just paper and paper with acrylic paint on top. So yeah, there is a difference. And here I forgot to mix my inks because this ink is like opaque one with a lot of pigment in it, and I shall mix it thoroughly, and I forgot, and that's why I had this sort of a mud color, whereas this color should be like pastel, sort of a pinky grayish color. It's not even mixed yet, it's more white of color, and I even have this sort of a powder residue on top. So yeah, I haven't mixed it thoroughly, but it's okay. I will later on try to sort of save this piece by adding hand sanitizer, but it was already kind of late. So if you want to replace YUPO with the paper with acrylics on top, I think you should consider adding some mixative, some like alcohol blending solution, hand sanitizer, in order to help the ink spread a little bit more, because it will be still a porous material. And I decided to add a little bit of green here, just to kind of add some more color to it, helping with alcohol. So I have this alcohol solution on the left. This is just isopropyl, I believe, so nothing too fancy. It's quite cheap as well, and not like alcohol blending solution, for example, from Ranger. And hand sanitizer is also a cheap option, yeah, but you cannot work with it as with blending solution, but it's a good alternative, well, for some operations. Now I will try the glossy paper, and as you can see, it doesn't even move. So yeah, the whole ink just seeped right into the paper, and I cannot revive it even with the alcohol. So yeah, that was it for the glossy photo paper. And I decided to take one more piece and use hand sanitizer first to kind of create the surface layer, and this will help a lot, but still paper is paper, it's porous material. So as you can see, I have some time to move it around while the hand sanitizer is not dry yet, and yeah, it helps a little bit. It's an option while working with like glossy paper, maybe even matte paper will do, but I think like not a sturdy paper, like something like copy paper, will not work here because hand sanitizer will just yeah, suck right into the copy paper, and it won't be sturdy enough. It will be all wavy and such, wrinkly. Here I decided to try to save this piece as well. It will help a little bit, but we will see these sort of dots, circles of ink from my previous layer. But it looks interesting still, and a great experience. So photo paper, it's not really an alcohol ink surface, but we can help it with some hand sanitizer and such. And because hand sanitizer dries quite quickly, here I will add this opaque ink, and this opaque ink moves much more difficult than the other ones, and yeah, on paper it's nearly impossible to move it around, while the more translucent inks are a little bit more, easy to move them. Okay, so now I will work with the packaging material like this, and I will divide it into 2 parts to try out different in a different ways, so without hand sanitizer and with hand sanitizer. And I was really surprised, not to say the least, because yeah, it worked so well. I was like, wow, I need this material like from every package I can get it from. So yeah, as you can see, it moves so well. Yeah, I think it's like it's more plastic than paper, and yeah, it moves so well and creates this alcohol inks effect, like yeah, layering, layering, drying, layering again, and like waves of color and the depth. And yeah, I really liked it without even hand sanitizer. Yeah, it worked so well, and I was really impressed. And now I will save every bit of this package that I will get. I don't have it like too much in my packages, but sometimes I do, and usually I throw it away. But now I won't, and it's especially like wonderful because in my country, I don't know about yours, we cannot recycle this type of paper. Well, not paper, not packaging material, because it's a mix of like anything. Like, because it's 7 means that it's a mix of plastic, of whatever, like paper and such. And yeah, we cannot recycle it, but now I can recycle it in my art, in my artworks, and yeah, I really liked it. I wish I could have it like in a right rectangular shape, so it will be like a painting, but I cannot have it. So well, maybe I can. If I have a bigger piece, I can cut a right rectangular shape with scissors and such, but it will be smaller than A4 or A3. Possible, but of course with like the YUPO paper that comes with the special rectangular size, it's much easier to have the proper looking painting. Let me know, guys, in the comments if you can call the alcohol ink work a painting, because well, for me I think that if you work with paints, it's a painting, but if you work with alcohol inks, is this a painting as well, or is this just artwork, art piece? I don't know. Please let me know, guys, in the comments. I'm really interested in that. I will call it painting sometimes, so please forgive me if this is not right, but this is just me misunderstanding some English. So yeah, here we can see that I created some layering, and I can really move these splashes around with this blowy thing, and yeah, it creates really beautiful effects. And I will try it the same with the hand sanitizer, and it will work even better, like very beautiful effects. And yeah, I was so surprised that I will work with it from now on. And here I decided to work with the green one because I really like this green color. It's so vintagey looking, yet beautiful, yet a lot of depth to this color. There is a little bit of brown in it and such. So yeah, I really like this this exact color of ink. And the brand itself, they have so the rusty color and the green one are one brand, but different types of inks, and they have like 3 or 4 different types of inks. And I think that I will buy the same sort of type as this green one, because I liked how it works. Because the rusty one, well, color is okay, because I just ordered it online and I couldn't see, but it's much more translucent than this green one. So it's so translucent that I cannot even see it sometimes, like for example on acetate. And here I added this opaque whitish color, and it creates a beautiful pistachio color together with this green. I liked it a lot, but it created some white spot on my work, so I decided to put a layer of green there as well. Adding a little bit of blue. I'm not a fan of blue color, well, in general, and this blue is really bright, like so pigmented. And yeah, if you dissolve it a little bit with alcohol solution, then it's okay. It's a little bit more subtle, and I can live with that, but as it is, it's quite pigmented. And as you can see, you can mix the colors of the alcohol inks, so they together like make this sort of emerald color, let's say so. Not really, because it's like a dirty emerald, but I don't know how to call this color in English. But yeah, I really like this piece specifically, like the packaging with hand sanitizer and the color combinations and the layering. For me, it looks like a usual alcohol ink painting that we are, well, used to see with YUPO paper and such. So yeah, I was really impressed with that. Of course, it's just, you can see by the edges, it's just ripped and cut out of something, and it's not like an artwork in general, but still I can cut it to the shape I want and use as I want, and it will be a really nice piece afterwards. And actually, after finishing my experiments, I will do 2 projects together with you, small ones, but still I will use them in my journal after that. So here I'm adding colors, like making the composition I like, and I was really relaxed while working with alcohol inks. I really liked the experience, and I think that I will work with it more from now on, because that was really relaxing. You don't think too much about what you are doing, because you just need to surrender to the flow of alcohol inks. They do what they want generally. Yes, you can control it a little bit, but not too much. It's mostly about going with the flow, let's say so. And I'm really all about it, all about going with the flow, all about the abstract art, all about the, uncontrollable things. That's what's bringing me joy. And I was so relaxed while doing it. So you just, free from all your thoughts. You just, throw some color, blow it in all the directions, and seeing the beautiful result is so rewarding. So without the so little of the amount of energy you put in it, and the result is so outstanding, so it brings joy. So now I'm trying the acetate piece. It is also quite okay for the alcohol inks, because it's plastic, non-porous surface, and the alcohol inks work well here as with the YUPO. But the problem with the acetate is that it is shiny and not really suitable for like vintage looking stuff. But for journaling in general, it's quite okay, because here we also can recycle some packaging material. Yeah, I don't see a problem. I really like the piece, and I will use it a lot as well. For example, from this acetate piece, you can create like small like envelopes with windows, and the window will be like this alcohol ink work, or maybe like journaling cards with the acetate on top, so you can flip it and see underneath. So for example, you have this abstract acetate work, underneath some text, or maybe like a beautiful picture or something you like, and yeah, it will be beautiful. And here we had a cat intruder. Yeah, she messed with me these days so much I cannot really work. I had to pause so much times, but it was okay. She needed some attention. Alrighty. I like how with the addition of this white sort of ink, the blue one looks a little bit more milkish. I don't know, like more gentle, really milk feel to it, chalky finish, let's say so. And as you can see, the rusty one, yeah, it's so translucent, it's even hard to see on acetate, even though acetate is like transparent. Yeah, that's really interesting. So not so much pigment in it, while the blue one has a lot of pigment. So yes, what I was talking about, the chalky finish, how acetate is not really good for vintage works, but for example with the rusty color you can create like a sort of a vintage looking tape and such. So it has its own use, I would say so. So I will save more acetate from now on as well, even though I have quite a lot of acetate already, because I do, I make windows with it and such. So yeah, I really like this piece as well, even though the colors are not really my favorite, but I liked it with the combination of white. And now I'm trying to add a hand sanitizer to kind of save this piece. And here you can clearly see where is paper and where is paint. So as you can see in the bottom part, the alcohol inks reacted with the paper and the paper got wet, and well, because it's wet, it's dark, yeah? So you can see that in this place, inks went right into the paper, while with the paint, it kind of sits on top. But still, it's not very suitable, not so non-porous as with the acetate or like packaging material. Yeah, so in the end, I quite like the result. I can still like use it in some projects, maybe with the addition of like black stamping, maybe some stenciling or such, like mixed media stuff, I would say so. And here I decided to add a little bit more color to it because it was looking quite plain, so to say. So let me know in the comments, guys, if you have found your own like alternative to YUPO, because I think this is a very common topic, like to find some alternatives to YUPO, and we can find cheap ones, expensive ones, but here I think, yeah, I had a lot of fun doing that. And I haven't tried the like paper with gesso, but I think it's fine. I think gesso will not work really well with the alcohol inks because it will still be paper, and paper will absorb all the ink and it will be hard to move it around. But maybe the combination of gesso and hand sanitizer will work, so worth experimenting, worth trying out. So this is finished now, and the last, oh no, not the last, so almost the last piece is this metallic can opener. I just decided to make it a little bit more vintage looking by adding some inks, and I really didn't understand the dauber thingy. Like, it didn't work for me that well. I didn't have fun doing it with the inks and with the metal piece as well. It just kind of absorbs all the ink, and yeah, I don't have the ink left. And with the paper I also didn't like it because it's just mixed the colors, and yeah, I don't know, I think I'm doing something wrong with the dauber because I'm just a newbie to the alcohol inks. So yeah, I think I just need to know how to work with it better. Maybe you have like any advice on how to use dauber together with alcohol inks. I'm happy to hear your advice. And this is the paper coated with just some glossy thing, and as you can see here, inks work well, so well. I was so surprised because it's just paper. I don't know why it was moving so well and creating so beautiful effects. I was completely in awe, in shock, and yeah, I really liked this piece. Even though I kind of messed it up in the end by by making a project, but I still like the underneath result. And this piece is just, when you buy big tea collection, like 100 tea bags or something, they have these tea dividers. Well, at least in my country we do these tea dividers. So the 3 rows of tea bags, and these 3 rows of tea bags are divided by this thing. And now I will save these things for sure, because I really liked the result here. It looks grungy, it looks so pigmented and bright and such. So yeah. So the last piece of packaging material. Here I tried the dauber and didn't really like it. As I have said, I just didn't understand how to work with it well, so I will have the results I want. I like the dots, like these sort of circly things, but yeah, they fade so quickly, and I just didn't really understand how to use it well. Maybe you're an expert in the alcohol inks and like watching and seeing this and like, wow, what is she doing? But yeah, I'm sorry for that. But I like the blowing motion much more than the dauber thingy. With the blowing motion, you can create this sort of a wavy look, like layering and such. With the dauber, yeah, not really much of stuff you can do, at least in my opinion. Well, I gave it a try, for sure. And the combination of the rusty color and this green color creates this sort of a vintagey, dirty brown that I wanted. And yeah, I like the combination, even though I didn't like the rust color itself. But with the combination with green, it worked quite well. So this piece will be like grungy and vintage looking and such. So now we will proceed to making the projects. I will start with this tea bag divider thingy, and I will do a small collage here. First I wanted to add like the label, but I messed it up. As you can see on my left, I have black and white acrylic paints, and I wanted to stamp with them because, well, for the alcohol inks and non-porous surfaces, inks dry very, very slow. I mean, inks for stamping. And I hadn't really time to wait, and because I work with these plasticky materials, I cannot dry them with heat gun and such. So I decided first to stamp with the inks. I don't know why, and I messed it up by smudging it completely. So I will cover it, and I will still like the piece, but I will cover a lot of the stuff that I wanted to see, really. Yeah, so I would prefer to see it more than in the end, but I still liked it, and it can be used as, like, for example, journaling card, maybe the bookmark, maybe like a belly band, tuck spot, so a lot of uses of this piece. So yeah, as you can see, it's smudgy, and yeah, I didn't really like it, so I decided to cover it with this vellum piece. This is just vellum crunched and then sprayed with, well, not sprayed, but I just applied some distress oxides on top. Here I'm drying this out so it will not smudge later on, and applying this vellum piece. With vellum I usually work with the double-sided tape because it's much easier to glue it on this way. I'm not sure if my glue will even work with the vellum, haven't tried it, yeah, because I like the double-sided tape. And I cannot really see it underneath, so it's okay. You can see the label a little bit from underneath, but it doesn't bother me. It doesn't look smudged. It looks interesting. So I'm adding a little bit of handwriting, this messy handwriting, and it was a hard surface to write on. So, but I like the grunginess to it. So now I'm deciding on the collage pieces that I want to put here. So this is like a little clock thingy from the packaging material as well. So I'm using my scraps, using up my packaging materials here in this project, and this day, I would say. So adding this, now I will find some more scraps to add on top, just for the composition in general. I really like this half label thingy. It works so well with the colors here. My cat wants to end this, but I will not allow for now. Sorry if you hear her meowing around. Yeah, so I added it just together with the previous piece, and now I will add something in the bottom part of these, well, let's call it journaling card. Yeah, as you can see, I covered a lot of the inks, but it's okay, it's a project. Sometimes we cover backgrounds, that's why we need backgrounds for. It's quite a strong background, I would say, because of the colors. They were quite pigmented, and I haven't expected that. Because, yeah, they come out differently on each type of surface, so it's hard to predict what you will have in the end. For me, this was really unpredictable, that this thing will work. I had like almost no expectations here. And I almost forgot to use it. Well, not like forgot, I thought it won't work and I don't need to use it and such, but in the end it worked so well, I was really surprised. So, do you know this tea bags dividers? Let me know if you have. So maybe you can try it as well. It will be really nice for bookmarks because the shape is, yeah, almost like a bookmark. So this is finished. Now I will proceed to the bigger project. which will be a little bit more interesting. It will be abstract and mixed media at the same time, so I decided to stamp this sort of abstractish flowers with the white acrylic paint. Finally, paint, not the inks. And yeah, I will just apply the thin layer on top of the acetate. Thin layer is important here because if you will have a lot of paint, you will just not have the clear impression of the stamp. It will be like smudged and go to the crevices of the stamp. So yeah, thin layer is okay. So I'm applying it on the piece, and because it's paint, it will dry eventually anyway, and yeah, it's harder to smudge it with this amount of ink. And I also wanted to add the negative of this stamp, but it didn't really work because the stamp was so intricate, so delicate, so you can hardly see the details. It will work great with the more solid stamp. So we can see the abstract flower impression. I'm adding a little bit more of the paint here to add more stamping with the script. Also, I would I want to like inform you that if you work with the paint as the, well, instead of inks, you need to wash your stencil or your stamp immediately after using, because, well, it will dry and you won't be able to clean it. So yeah, if you work with paint for stamping, clean your my god, clean your stamp right after, or just put it in the water, like submerge it and then clean, so the paint won't dry on your stamp and you will be able to, yeah, wash it off. Yeah, because if you will have accumulation of paint, it will not, yeah, your stamp impression will be ruined at some point, so be sure to wash your stamp immediately. Okay, so here I decided that I need to kind of break this abstract, this composition, and add at least something on top. And I decided to put the label again, and I will use the book page for that. The label could have been smaller, but it's okay. The big one also fine, but I just I wanted to stamp the word in it. My stamps are too small for that, and the words will be so small compared to the label. So in the end, I will just handwrite it, but yeah, even my handwriting was small for this label, but it's okay. At least it like kind of not dissolve the composition, but make it a little bit more like broken by this abstract look to it. Alrighty. So I'm just stamped with the black ink on top of the book page. Now I will fussy cut it and yeah, apply it on my project with, I think, double-sided tape as well. We will see. So if you work with like YUPO or packaging materials or anything with alcohol inks, give the paint a try in terms of stamping. It's a great tool to do the stamping, although it's messy. Like I have this sort of acetate palette, but it's now gone. So as you can see, I'm adding handwriting. I really want to attend some calligraphy courses, but yeah, I'm kind of scared and I don't think I will be able to do it. I'm nervous and such, but I'm kind of interested in calligraphy courses nevertheless. And of course, after this project, I also ordered some more of the colors of alcohol inks because I like to work with them and I want some more colors. Like I ordered black, I ordered gold. You know, when I was working with these alcohol inks, I was like, why haven't I bought any gold color? Because that would be so gorgeous on most of the works here. It would be absolutely amazing. And I was like, yeah, why didn't you buy gold? You know you like gold. So yeah, in the end I bought gold. I also ordered silver, some pink, some more green, I think. Orange, red, so different colors. I think next time I want to work with some black and silver because I want to do the, well, sort of a painting with black and silver and almost on a YUPO paper. We don't have YUPO paper, but I have a like alternative analog. I don't know if this is called analog. So I have no gold, but I decided to add it like with the wax, and the wax wasn't really applying well on this surface, but that was good because if it would apply good, I won't be able to control myself and end up having gold all over. So right now it looks subtle and as if I had alcohol inks like in gold color. This piece I was trying to save it, adding some wax as well, but yeah, that was a mistake. Well, not a mistake, but it won't work. I think what I should have done, I thought about it later on, is that I should have like maybe use watercolors or maybe diluted acrylics like in black or like dark brown, so the color will go to the crevices of the stamp, and yeah, you will see the contour, the shape of the stamp. And here I just added the inks, well, the MV wax on top, and yeah, nothing really happens. Yeah, so just on top of the paint. I should have really worked with the, well, crevices of the paint, let's say so. But still, if we turn this piece over, we can still see the alcohol ink, so it's okay. I can still use this piece anyway, even though I kind of messed it up. So we have these two projects, and I now will find a place for them in my journal. So first, like lighter background options and darker background options. And for example, here I could have applied it only on the top to be like a flippy floppy thingy. But here I decided to apply it completely, even though on dark background the colors are a little bit more muted compared to the lighter background. So yeah, if you remember, previously I added it on lighter background and it was really like it popped up, and here it's kind of muted alcohol inks. But I will apply it completely, so not like flippy floppy, but completely to the page. And later on, when I will like flip through my journal, I will see this piece and be happy, because this was like my first experiment with alcohol inks, and I really liked the result. It was abstract, it was really relaxing, rewarding and such, and yeah, I don't need to even write about it, so I can use it as it is. Okay. So now I'm applying it. So at first I thought that maybe I will find a different place, but in the end I decided to go with this one. So I'm also using double-sided tape here. Really great for gluing this sort of material down. If you are bothered by the shape, you can basically cut it to the shape you want, even though it's quite a hard piece to cut. Well, to cut it straight, I would say. Especially for me, I cannot even cut the paper straight, not talking about this type of materials. Yes, so we are almost finished doing this sort of page and this project, small project, really fast and simple. Well, not sure about simple, but still fast. So we used alcohol inks, paint, and gold wax and such. So this piece you can use as a belly band, maybe as a tuck spot, or like a pocket, but for a pocket it's quite small. Also just as a journaling card or the bookmark, because as you can see on the back side we have just paper underneath. Not underneath, just paper. So yeah, this is the finished piece. I hope you liked the project. I hope you have also found some alternatives to YUPO. And yeah, here I'm showing the results I had as well. Really, really nice pieces. I will use them in my projects as well. So we have this grungy sort of a packaging material piece. And I like that this is matte compared to the acetate. Yeah, so this is matte and acetate is shiny. So this is the acrylic paint. It didn't really work, but with the hand sanitizer, I think it will work just fine. So the glossy photo paper doesn't work without a hand sanitizer at all. Also metal piece, looks fine, yeah, just use it to color your metal pieces. And acetate also works fabulous, but it's shiny and glossy and such. So yeah, see you in my next video. I hope you liked it. Please put a thumbs up if you do, and consider subscribing to my channel because it makes me really happy, it makes my day. And yeah, I will bring some more interesting projects to you. We will experiment some more, we will work with paper some more, and I will see you in my next video. I'm not sure what it will be, probably some artsy thing again. So yeah, bye bye.